The night baseball stood still. One name echoed through every dugout, every broadcast booth, every living room that ever tuned in to watch greatness unfold. Paul Skenes. It wasn't just a victory. It wasn't even just a record-breaking season. It was a storm, violent, poetic, inevitable. From the first pitch of April to the final strikeout of October, Skenes didn't just pitch, he commanded. Every batter who stepped into the box felt that silence before the roar. That cold, heavy feeling in the chest when you know, you're not facing a pitcher, you're facing destiny itself. The Cy Young voters didn't hesitate. Unanimous. A word so rare, it almost feels mythical. But that's what Paul Skenes was in 2025, mythical. He didn't just lead the league. He owned it. An ERA that defied logic. Strikeout numbers that shattered belief. Every start felt like a movie premiere, the crowd buzzing, phones out, the tension thick enough to cut through with a fastball. They said rookies couldn't handle pressure. They said he was too young, too new, too human. And then Skenes showed them what happens when preparation meets pure fire. There were moments you could feel the stadium's heartbeat sync with his. The slow exhale before he unleashed a 102-mile-per-hour fastball that screamed through the air like thunder splitting the night. The catcher's mitt popped, and the crowd exploded, not because it was a strike, but because it was him. Every game, Skenes carried the swagger of a pirate, fitting for Pittsburgh, a black flag flying high, warning hitters of the chaos to come. And still, they couldn't stop him. He didn't just win. He dominated. From aces like Strider and Webb to veterans who'd seen it all, no one could match his consistency. No one could touch the rhythm of that windup, the precision of that slider, the cruelty of that splitter. And when August came, he didn't slow down. He got meaner. Each outing was a statement, a reminder that baseball hadn't seen this kind of control since the legends. Some said Clemens. Some whispered Verlander. But the truth, this was something new. Something, Skenes level. He was built for the big stage. When the lights got brighter, his pitches got sharper. When the pressure mounted, his pulse stayed steady. The Pirates hadn't had a hero like this in years, maybe decades. And suddenly, fans started believing again. Kids wore his jersey, mimicked his delivery in backyards, screamed his name into the evening air. Each highlight became an anthem. Each post-game interview felt like a prophecy. And through it all, he never changed. Calm, focused, relentless. But the beauty of Skenes wasn't just in the power. It was in the poetry, the way he could turn a game into art. 9 innings, 120 pitches, and not a single mistake. That wasn't baseball. That was mastery. There were nights when his teammates said he didn't talk much. Just nodded, tightened the glove, and walked to the mound like a soldier stepping into battle. And every time, he came back victorious. Then came the whispers, Cy Young. At first, people laughed. Then, they started checking the stats. Then, they stopped laughing. By September, it wasn't, if, anymore. It was how far ahead he'd finish. And when the announcement came, unanimous, the baseball world stood in awe. No one questioned it. No one argued. Because how do you argue with perfection? It wasn't just the wins or the era or the strikeouts. It was the feeling, that rare, electric energy that surrounds a player when you realize you're watching history in real time. They say every generation gets one. One player who changes the way we see the game. For this one, it's Paul Skenes. He reminded us what dominance looks like, what passion feels like, and what greatness sounds like. That snap of leather, that eruption of fans, that echo of disbelief every time another batter walked back to the dugout shaking his head. But for Skenes, this wasn't the end. This was just the prologue. The first chapter in what might become one of the greatest pitching stories baseball has ever told. He stood on the podium, trophy in hand, smiling softly, that same calm fire in his eyes. You could almost hear what he was thinking. I'm not done yet. And maybe that's what makes him different. He doesn't chase glory. He builds it. From the college fields of LSU to the roaring stadiums of the major leagues, every step has been a rise, deliberate, powerful, unstoppable. So when history looks back on 2025, they won't just see stats. They'll see the season that changed everything. The season when a young man with a golden arm and a steel heart carried a franchise, and a sport, back into the light. Because once in a while, baseball gives us a storm. And this time, that storm wore number 30. Paul Skenes, the unanimous Cy Young. Not just a winner. A warning. To every hitter, every rival, every doubter. The era of dominance has only just begun.